This is one of those things, it could go either way. It might be 2 days later we've forgotten about it, or it could end up causing some serious trouble to the government. It's about the Chancellor. She's been accused of lying on her online CV after it was spotted. She recently made an update to it, and I'll show you. So what we've got over here is the way the CV looks now on LinkedIn. So experience, this is a great CV. By the way, the top end of it's not bad, is it? Chancellor of the Exchequer, Parliament, MP for Leeds West and Pudsey, Chair of a committee, Labour Party, Shadow Chancellor, blah, blah, blah. And down the bottom, retail banking. So you'd expect a sort of a common or garden job here. Halifax, full-time. And the problem here is this is after she or somebody on her behalf adjusted it. Because prior to that, are you ready? This is what it looked like. So it said economist, Bank of Scotland, full-time. Now, the job description for a retail banker online is somebody who's responsible for managing customer accounts, offering business products and services, and advising clients on ways of achieving their financial goals. You are not an economist. You're one step up from a cashier behind a glass screen. And it could just be an honest mistake, Jonathan.
How?
Well, I mean, I think it's a bit of a storm in a teacup, this. I mean, she is an economist. She worked at the Bank of England.
She's one now.
Before she went to Halifax, Bank of Scotland. She was at the Bank of England. She worked there. She's got economics academic qualifications. She is an economist.
She's not employed as one, though. I mean, listen, I'm a philosopher, but I'm not employed. Yes, of course, we all are. We all think about stuff. But I wouldn't put it on my CV. The fact that I go and sit in the park occasionally with a sandwich, it's not something I can put on a CV.
Well, she was an economist at the Bank of England. She was working in banking.
Was that her official title? Was her official title economist at the bank, where she received a salary for being an economist?
When she was at the Bank of England, yes. But not here.
Yeah, I mean,
not in this job. You think it's nothing? Because I suppose the defence, that Rachel's not here, but the defence of Miss Reeves is that the word economist, rather like the word philosopher or comedian, is so vague, or clown, you could almost say, well, that's basically, I was working as an economist.
Well, I mean, there's lots of politicians who are comedians, I can tell you
well,
that.
Well, there are quite a few clowns in there as well.
And clowns as well.
Exactly. But that's a small c clown, right? And this is a small c economist. Her job title wasn't economist.
Has she responded? Because there's also been people that have worked with her that said, well, actually, she was, 3 tiers down as opposed to what she's been saying in interviews. So, again, we don't want to cast aspersions. Has she responded to any of these?
Well, she worked at the Bank of England. She worked on economic issues. She was an economic, she did analysis on economic matters. She was also posted to our embassy in Washington as well to do economic research. I think no one's questioning.
Why did they change this? As soon as all of these allegations
the Bank of England economist job
was
that's not being questioned. That's not up there because we've truncated. I think the CV's been truncated. But this is going back to 15 years or so. And it's a relatively junior job as a retail banker. It's the one where you come in. I mean, I'm picturing the person you come in, you say, look, I've got problems with my mortgage. I don't think I can afford it. And they take you off to a side room and kind of make you feel bad about yourself.
She's just she's inflated her importance within the roles. Is that what she's done?
Well, I mean, but she was an economist, and then she moved from the Bank of England to another bank.
Wow!
But
you could drive a truck through it.
No, not remotely.
No, she hasn't.
Remotely.
She's not been honest.
She is an economist. She went from the Bank of England to work at HBOS. She's a qualified economist. I think this is a storm in a teacup.
Right.
And actually, what matters is the economic policy she is pursuing and clearing up the mess of the economic chaos of the previous Tory government.
The reason why it's concerning is because she holds a very high position in public office financially. And as you heard, the very frustrated farmers and many others around tax, she's got this wrong in terms of the calculation. So we do need to know if she's actually had that financial history of working.
You think she might not be an economist at all? I mean, that's
I'm not saying at all.
Yeah.
I'm not saying at all.
Definitely an economist. I've known her for 20-odd years.
Then I asked you,
I've known her since we've both known each other
so
since
she's
we were
not
19,
inflated
18,
it. She's
19.
not inflated
She's an economist.
So we'd love a call on this 0207 862 222. Lynette in Cheshire, hi. Does this matter? It might be a fuss about nothing.
It isn't a fuss about nothing, Jeremy. We run a business and we rely on people's honesty on their CVs to give us an idea of their work experience and their capabilities. If everybody looks at this and thinks, oh, it's quite all right to lie, we might as well not have CVs. Doctors, nurses, police officers, is it okay for them to lie? Of course it isn't. She's supposed to be the Chancellor of the Exchequer. She should be honest and above criticism. And she's not. She's lied on a CV. So we might as well just scrap CVs and say, well, just come along for an interview. We'll have a chat. Give us any old garbage you want. It doesn't really matter.
So, I mean, I was when I was at university, I was the editor of the student newspaper, right? And I met I'll be careful what I say here, I met a BBC presenter, and he was at the same university, and I said to this presenter, oh, I was the editor of the student, did you do it? He said, yeah, it's on my CV. He said, I never did it, but I put it on my CV. And I was like really outraged. And then, Lynette, I thought, well, maybe everybody's doing this.
Well, they shouldn't be. I mean, what is the point of a CV if we can just lie? That means people lie into a position that they are not capable of doing. And in my opinion, she's proving that left, right and centre.
Yeah, but when someone says, what are your qualifications for the job? You say, I get up in the morning with a spring in my step and I'm ready for the working day. Actually, none of us can start working until we've had 2 digestives. Nobody puts that on a CV.
I would disagree. The first part I completely agree with, but I would disagree with not capable or qualified, because the thing where I feel really bad for are young people who they're asked to have all of this experience and they clearly don't. They just left college, but they're very capable. So for them...
Also, there's an argument that says that qualifications are a problem here. Remember that the banking crisis was a power cut caused by electricians. So it may be that the less qualified you are, the safer hands we're all in.
No, but the issue we have here, she's in a high position, and when you get to those levels, I think you have to really look closely to see what it is you've done. And then my concern is the referencing. What, has anyone referenced this?
But that's not how politics works.
I'm sorry, I just think this is total nonsense. People are trying to suggest that she hasn't got academic qualifications in economics. She most certainly has. She's got a degree from Oxford, master's economics degree from the London School of Economics. Yeah. She spent time working at the Bank of England. And what this is just a Tory desperate... No, I'm not saying you're a Tory, but it's come from desperate Tories.
But why then?
Who are trying to damage. We're going to move on. We have to leave that why. We leave the question hanging. Don't forget...